Happy Independence Day to all those who feel that they've truly obtained independence. Blessings and my peace to you. It's a beautiful day. I feel like to wake up and see another day is extremely important. You know, I feel like I've achieved something great. A lot of us didn't wake up this morning, and my sympathies go out to their families. And anyway, I am away from home, and I am out and about, and I'm getting ready to wind down, and I keep on thinking about things that I forget, like wearing a mask. So when I thought about it, I put it in my hand so that I can put it in my purse. If I keep it in my purse with my driver's license and things that I consider important, because most women consider valuable things too now in her purse. Those are things that it take us a while to replace. We can't run out to the grocery store to get it. We got to go and stand in a line. So a grocery store line, and that driver license line, and that social security line, that birth certificate line. And then you might have to pay for it. You get them for free one time if you lose them that driver's licenses. But they will, if you lose it more than one time in a certain amount of time, then the next time they're going to charge you for them driver's licenses. And I think that they will they'll pay for your address change for free. That way they can track your ass more easily. If you always giving them your current address, it's easy for them to track you and to keep up with you and to know exactly where you are and to drive past your house and harass you. You know, a lot of people do it that way. That's how people find you, from your address. It's kind of easy, and it's scary like that. It's scary like that because they make it public records that anybody, and it's about the public too. So they make it about public records because it's about the public. It's not about privacy. They don't care nothing about your privacy, just theirs. They don't want you busting in their doors and creeping them out by driving past their house over and over and over and over again. But anyway, when I'm getting ready, put me a mask in my bag, my purse, and then go ahead on any devices that you have plugged in. If your phone been charging all night, when you pick your phone up, go ahead on and unplug your charger so you won't leave it behind. Try to walk around this room. Don't go send Junior to do it. Y'all always want to send Junior to go do something that Junior ain't but 12 years old, and you think Junior just as smart. If Junior just as smart as the daddy, then something is wrong. Okay, let's keep moving. Go around and look in the plugs. This room has very few plugs. In fact, they are literally like nowhere to find. I believe in cleanliness as the toppest quality in a room. I don't care how old it is. If they clean it, then you know what, that thing gonna last and it gonna smell good. And people, just ordinary people like myself, they gonna stay there. Cause we trying to find quality inns. We trying to find $50 rooms a night. 45, 35 if you got it. If that sapsucker clean, we'll stay there for $10. Be like, I don't know who rent them out for $10. Should I be worried? That's almost like a friend right there. And that $10 is just to go in on breakfast. A lot of us don't have friends like that we can travel with and stay with, and they show us around town and give us a day. I know I don't. I don't have those kind of people in my life that I know that are close to me. I know some, but they not close to me. But anyway, I try to keep my stuff thrown into me a little neat pile. Well, not neat, but the bed kind of spread out so that I can see my junk. I got a chance to play Fortnite one night. And that was it. I got my luggage here. This place doesn't have laundry bags. But anyway, I got a little thing. I had to put my dirty clothes in here with it because I'll leave them out overnight. But I learned to flip them inside out, especially when I've been out all day long, you know, with all of the excessive germs that we have in the air today. And I feel better that I just got out in a way. And it's like I slept in a whole different environment last night, and I feel a little bit better, you know. But it's still got to be safe when we out here traveling and stuff like that. And I fold my clothes up and I roll them up in a little ball, kind of like this right here. Just roll them together and pile it up in there, in the corner of my little old suitcase. Yeah. Listen here, Louis Vuitton. If you want me to advertise your luggage while I travel, then that would be real nice. I take my little thing like that. I have like medicine right here. And I pack it right here in that little corner right there. This is a small, look, it's a little bigger than a tote bag. I got a tote bag somewhere. There my little tote bag is right there. That's where I got my games console in. I didn't even feel like plugging it up last night because we had to stay in 2 different hotels. And plugging it up at the first hotel was hard enough. So I didn't even feel like doing it here yesterday. We went to like the river walk and it was nice. They got a boat that you can go out on. And then their boat on a big old nice river. And it's called a riverboat walk and all of that right there. And I get out here to the boat and y'all serve food, sir? That's what I want to know. I'm finna eat me some fresh caught seafood from somewhere because it's along the river. Do y'all serve seafood? Do y'all serve food? Yes. Do you serve? See, he started naming all of the items that they serve. Seafood? I let him. No seafood? No, ma'am. Y'all on a boat? On the river? And y'all don't serve seafood? What's the catch of the day? I need to know. Y'all on the river on the boat. Y'all got a 2-hour cruise and y'all ain't got no fish. I don't want to go. $20, mind you now. That's something that I could have afforded, was $20. And I could have had me a little cheap meal. And sat down and had me a really, really good time on the boat. The boat docks at 4:30 and gets ready to pull out around 5. And it rides for 2 hours in Mobile. No, not Mobile. Montgomery, Alabama. Came to the casino again. And I was disappointed. Again, mind you, I set a limit as to how much I'm going to lose, but no. And then it's like it never ceases to amaze me. And it's amazing, you know, how fast it can eat up your money. That hippo can eat your money, or you can tear through a 20 so fast, but see, everybody ain't got it the same way. See, that ain't how I got it. I ain't got it. I would have loved to feed the hippo around $500, you know. I would love to be able to set a limit of $10,000. I would now. I don't know how much you want your limit to be. But I'd love to set me a limit on one machine, $10,000, bloom. But the machine got to be a high payout machine in order for me to set my own limit that high. And I just sit there and play that machine. Because at some point, isn't the machine going to get full and just spill out? Isn't it about how the coin? Have you ever played them little games online? And then that little animated version, and then all of the coins just spill out. I need to do history on where those machines come from. I wonder who invented them. Was it supposed to be a piggy bank? Wouldn't that be fun? If it's a little piggy bank and then it turned into like a slot machine, that's pretty cool right there. I don't know where they came from, but I wonder could somebody make one like a little piggy bank? I've seen one. That's where I remember it from. Little old machine with a little handle on it, and you put the coin in and pull the handle down, and the money is supposed to go into each thing in the counting and the order that it is. I want to do when it reaches a certain number of money that's put in the machine, then it'll spit it back out. So maybe that's why some people don't get up from their machines. I don't know. It's worth figuring out. But I don't have the money to do so with. I'd love to feed that hungry hippo until it gets full and throw it out. Just eat till it can't hold no more. Cause once the machine get full, but now it's not the coin in concept. It's digital now. So at a point, then the machine still has to fill up because it's based on the concept and the mathematics of that particular machine. So once the machine get full, it's gonna spit the coins back out. It's what I think. I mean, I don't know. I fell on my head when I was a baby, and I have a hard time catching on to things. And I see things differently than some people can read a book and they can just pick it up just like that from a book. I don't do it. It don't come to me that way. It's harder for me to get it from that book. I have to read it about 3 or 4 times sometimes in order to understand. And then I got to go back over it. And what I found, one thing that helps me most is if I were to go get a dictionary and look up those words that I don't understand. That truly helps me to do a little bit better. But anyway, happy Independence Day. Have fun. Enjoy the day. I hope and pray that we can be safe. And I'm trying very hard to remember my mask because a lot of times I'll jump out my vehicle and I forget to put it on. And listen, I don't want to be a carrier and I don't want to get it. I got the natural one. See, I don't know if this one's natural. The first ones were natural if it was like started in a lab, right? If it was created in a lab and then somehow it got in the population, it's not natural. If it had naturally come from a bat, then it would have been like Mother Nature made it. It just spontaneously happened. But when someone extracted it from whatever source they extracted it from, extraction, take that little needle and stick it in and extract the blood out of your veins. It's called a venipuncture. And then put it in a little old vial, that little old round thing. And then it all depends on what we got to do with your blood, but we'll stick it in a centrifuge machine and spin it down. And then you got that little serum at the bottom. I don't know how they would do that, like to extract whatever it is that they need from the animal. What if it's extracted from their thyroids? What if it's extracted from their liver? What if it comes from their feces? What if the virus comes from the feces or the sperm or the urine or something that's waste that's on that animal? I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm no professor, of course, and I really don't know nothing. But I march on with my thoughts and my ideas, and then I go somewhere and I try to read about it and see if it's real, because I have a huge imagination. I always have, because my brother was 4 years older than me, and I had to spend a whole lot of time by myself because my mom came home from work extremely tired. She would work them 12-hour shifts, and the only thing she wanted to do was fix her a quick meal and go to bed. And I would have the evening to myself. And so I remember I wanted to start going home. I was like 16 years old, and I wanted to start. It's just something that you hear other kids talking about. it was nothing to do, just sit around there and be lonely and be by myself. And I used to would just write, and I don't even know what I would be writing about. A lot of times I would be trying to write poems and things, and just writing. I just loved writing. It's a great form of expression to be able to write. I have a hard time expressing myself to people because it can take too long, and people are impatient like I am. Well, I don't want to hear it for too long because I'm too busy in my own thoughts and in my own head. And I realize that I tune other people out real quick and easy. I do. That's how my mom was with me. My grandmother wouldn't even entertain the idea of an argument with you. She would not even look your way. She'd be like, that's all you hear is television set. She ain't even gonna entertain the idea. Portia didn't argue with you either. He just whooped you, and he was done with it. Mother didn't argue with you either. If she was coming after you to whoop you, she wasn't gonna say nothing. She was just gonna roll up on you, whoop, whoop, and it was done with. And I miss them. I do, because on the 4th of July, we would be at my grandparents' house. We would already be on the way there, Mama. And I would be so excited because I love going to my grandparents' house anyway. It wasn't until I felt that sense of independence from out of nowhere, and then I just wanted to go home by myself, It was not all it was cracked up to be, because eventually I started going back up to their house. There was no fun in there, being in there by myself, even with the TV on and stuff. It was nothing to do. I was scared to go outside by myself. Well, no, I used to go out there and walk down to the water, to the creek sometime. That's what I really loved about it, was that creek. That's why I wanted to start going home, because I could walk down through there and you could play in the water and stuff. And we lived right there beside that creek, and I used to love it. And people could drive by and they couldn't see you down in there because you want to stay out of sight of people. I learned that at the age of 13 when me and my cousins was walking. And this man, for no reason at all, he just wheeled around in the road, and he came back, and he just drove right up beside us, and he just pointed a gun at us, and we just took off running. That creeped me out. That made it so hard for me to get out and walk anywhere. I have a hard time walking now because I can't run like I used to. I ran. He got out the car. When he got out the car, he grabbed my cousin's jacket up off the ground, and he jumped back in his car. And then it was a dirt road separating us. We out in the middle of nowhere walking. But this is a barn over here where people work at, and there are people who know us, and we not far from my grandparents' house here. So we trying to get back over here to the barn. And he on the dirt road. He's on the dirt road parked, and my cousin hear his car. It's like he probably knew where we were going to run out at. That shit right there creeped me all the way out with walking. I ain't wanting to walk no more. I will, but it takes so much energy from me to go walking. It takes so much energy from me just to go walking. It's not easy. But anyway, I have a hard time getting out. I understand why my grandparents and stuff, we choose to stay home. When I get out, I don't feel safe because I feel like I'm a target. I'm still a running slave, and I'm constantly running from the dangers, from scavengers, from the police, from someone who hate people whose skin is a certain color. In my 54 years, I've learned that black people hate me because of my skin tone. White people hate me because of my skin tone. I don't know about anybody else. I've experienced discrimination from more than just Americans. Because the black man over here is American to me. And if a Chinese is born here, he's Chinese to me. I mean, those are the border rules, aren't they? Is that not the border rule? That if you born on these soils, you are American. That makes me native to this country, regardless of who my ancestors are and where they from. They ain't got nothing to do with me. I was born here. I got the papers to prove so. Glad y'all wanted some. I got them. I'm a native to this country. I am. I was born here. And I'm proud to be American. Many done died for me to have what little tad of freedom I do have. Many done suffered. Many done walked through it and can still talk about it. I would love to sit down and talk to someone who really know independence. They still living, they out there. I would love to meet one and just sit down and have a conversation with them. But people are afraid, and I don't blame them. We got this COVID out here, and now we're finding out that it truly is COVID. It's undercover, deep cover. But guess what? We're going to be okay. Because we're going to march on, and we're going to learn how to come together and make these brown people. We're going to learn how to come together and make these yellow people. We're going to come together and figure out how to make these white people. Doesn't matter the color of the skin. We all niggas, as far as I'm concerned. Because I'm whatever you are. I know you are, but what am I? So I'm what? I know you are, but what am I? To all the sisters, you a bitch too. You old bitch. You old bitch, you. That's how you whisper behind your mama that'll beat your ass through the floor. Bitch, will leave scars on you from them old switches. Them old AM switches won't no joke. You a bitch too. But you don't whisper, huh? And you whispering now. You gotta do this. You have got to turn your back to that. You a bitch too. She was my mother, and then it's like I used to hang with her and her sisters, and out in public, I didn't drink, smoke, and do all of that, but I had to sit in the midst with it. I had to sit in the midst of it. House to house, and having fun and dancing and stuff like that with people that you knew. And then riding around and stuff like that. And I was like always with them when they went somewhere most of the time. The times are few and far that they would drop me off at Mother and Portia house, because that's where I really wanted to go, or even to be with their children. I just didn't want to hang out with them so much. They made me go. A lot of times I was just sitting there. I couldn't drink. I couldn't smoke. All I knew that it was bad for me. And I was being told, you should not drink and drive, and cigarettes are bad for you. You should not smoke. And then my cousin, they were like more of an influence in my life. They smoked. Give me a smoke. One hit and I was like one more. I'm like, oh my gosh. What do I do? How am I going to get some cigarettes? I don't have any money to get any cigarettes with, but I really, 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 really want one. So, oh my gosh, now I'm chewing tobacco and smoking too. And good thing that the cigarettes would burn my throat. They would burn my throat when I would smoke one, when I inhale. And that must have went on for 3 months, and it only got worse. It got worse. So I'm like, oh no. And every time I would smoke one, it would burn, it would cough, and I would start getting sick in the stomach. And I stopped. And then I later started back because I was riding in the car with someone, or I had been out and I had been around cigarette smoke, and then all of a sudden I wanted some cigarette smoke. Both my parents smoked. They rolled the windows up and smoked in the car. Please, please be advised not to do that to your children. It would give them asthma, upper respiratory infection. They have bouts of difficulty breathing, giving them COPD at a young age, and they don't even smoke. But really, technically, I was smoking too. Is there some air in there? I suck it in and I hold it, and sometimes I'll suck it in and I'll blow out. And I'm like, will they continue to grow just a little bit? Because I feel like the growth of my lungs were stunned from cigarette smoke. And please, please, if you love them, you won't smoke in front of them. You won't. I asked my mom not to smoke in front of my children, and she loved my children enough to go on the front porch and smoke. Then my uncle started doing the same thing. He loved them enough to do the same thing. A lot of times people don't know that it's hurting their child. They don't know. There was this lady, she was in the doctor's office every week with her son, and he could barely breathe. He would just be red, sweating, panting, and she was smoking like you could smell. She smelled just like an ashtray herself, and he could barely breathe. And I'm like, the cigarettes are doing this to him. Look at him. He smelled just like he. I said, do he smoke? Then it's unfair. I said, my mom, and it gave me asthma. Since I don't live around them and don't have to be around that cigarette smoke, I don't get sick from it anymore. But if I'm in the presence of cigarette smoke, I can feel it immediately in my throat and stuff. My throat, it starts feeling bad. But if I'm in the presence of the actual smoking, don't let it be them cigarettes that my parents used to smoke. I get all hoarse and stuff. I can feel it immediately. I start like tightening up all up in here. It gets so tight and stuff, and I start with the wheezing and stuff. So I don't like to be around cigarette smoke at all. But listen, anyway, enjoy your day. I need to go get dressed. They do offer a breakfast here. I hope that there's not like little crumbs or bacon in the eggs. If they got any, at least I hope they got an egg. They say they got a continental breakfast. I don't know what it is, but I'm about to go find out. Listen, y'all be safe. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.